Well, we are at the end of the year, and as this year is coming to a close much faster than what, if you're like me, expected, it is easy to get caught up in, for some people, it's easy to get caught up in what we didn't achieve, didn't do, whatever that might be. But today, as you're listening to this, I really want to help you to shift your focus to celebrating your wins and learning from your challenges. And because when we think about reflection and looking at your year in review and celebrating your wins and the lessons learned, reflection isn't just about looking back, right? It's about using the past to propel you forward into the new year. And this is very, very exciting energy. And this reflection is something that I do probably more often than yearly, to be honest, because I am like daily doing mindset work with myself and putting all these things into practice. But definitely in December is a really good time to reflect on the whole year. And I do this. I do this every year, and I look at, okay, what worked, what didn't work, how have I grown in that time? And this practice is really something that becomes the cornerstone for planning into the next 12 months. And I'm really excited to be guiding you through this process today. I want to share with you what I do, and do take it on board to see how it helps you as well. So we're really going to think about, why is reflection so powerful, right? Right from the start. Why is reflection so powerful? And the thing is that reflection creates clarity. Taking time to reflect really helps you identify what's working and what's not working. And it gives you that clarity then to make better decisions moving forward. Because if you're not reflecting on, what did you set out to do? What did you actually do? What worked well? What didn't work well? If you don't reflect on that, then it's like you're not using the benefits of all that experience, right? So it helps you to get real clarity about what's working and what you want to do in your decision making moving forward. And this could be looking at things like, what parts of your business generate the most revenue for you? That could be part of it, right? It could be all kinds of things. But reflection really creates clarity, right? It gives you that data, it gives you that information that helps you make decisions. And celebrating your wins builds confidence, because this is the thing, right? Like, it's often people that I work with don't necessarily acknowledge all of their achievements as they go along. They might not even recognize them. Okay, so part of the reason for this is because we forever live in the now moment, right? We forever live in the now moment. So now is all we're really conscious of, unless we take some time to reflect. And so it can be really easy to not notice all the little changes that have happened over the last 12 months and realize that actually, when I look back over that time, all those little things add up to some big changes. And maybe there were some things that I didn't recognize how important they were at the time. And so acknowledging your achievements reminds you of your capability, and it builds momentum. Right? So if you're ever stuck in that space where you feel like, nothing's ever changing, everything's so slow, and then you look back and you go, well, actually, there's a lot that's changed in the last 12 months. And so I know that I'm capable. And in fact, this is absolutely one of the things that I used to tell myself so that I could be assured I would continue to grow forward. And that was thinking about, like, for example, there was a time when I first started my business, and I was like, yes, I want to make six figures in my business. I didn't really believe it. Like, I held on to it and I was like, I'm just going to keep going until I do it. But it seemed that unrealistic to me at the time. And, when I actually got there, and when you do that, you'll know in business that you go, oh, six figures, that's not actually that much in business. And then you're setting your next goals for what else you want to create, because by the time you pay expenses and everything else, it's not like that 100K goes in your pocket, right? But it when you look at that and go, well, I went from a place of never have made six figures to now I am making six figures and I've made multiple six figures, then it lets you know that you've got that capability of growth. And so what I'd always remind myself of is that if I have grown this far in the last 12 months or the last 5 years or the last 10 years, then that is evidence to me that in the next 12 months, in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, there's going to be a whole lot more growth, right? So that's very powerful to think about that, because like literally, if you've grown over the last however long, you would have to put effort into stopping yourself from growing any further forward, because you're growing continuously unless you put effort in stopping it. And so a lot of this is really knowing and acknowledging for yourself that you are growing and that you are achieving and that you are moving forward. And that's where you go, wow, like I do know what I'm doing. I do know what I'm doing. Things are getting further ahead. I am progressing. And that builds momentum because the belief then steps in. And so when we believe that it's true that we're growing, we put in more effort and we have more expectation that that's what's happening, and we create more of it. And also, we've really got to look at the lessons that we've learned, because every challenge that we have holds a lesson, right? Every challenge that we have holds a lesson. And if you think about this around challenges, when you have challenges in your life, the only reason that they're challenging is because you have not yet developed the neurology to deal with that thing. Okay, there's plenty of other challenges that you deal with in your life on a day-to-day basis that you've just got sorted out, and it's easy and there's nothing for you to worry about. You can do it unconsciously because you've got the neurology for those things, right? There'd be other people in the world going, oh my God, I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you manage that because I haven't been able to create that in my life. And it could be that you've been married for 30 years. It could be that you've raised children. It could be that, like anything, you've got a house, you've got a car, there's so much contrast in the world about what people think's possible. We often take for granted what we have for ourselves, right? So there's plenty of things that you do really well and you've got the neurology for, and they're easy. When we decide we want to create something else and there's a challenge, that challenge represents the neurology that we need to build to be able to achieve that, what we're setting out to, right? So every goal has challenges. Every time we set a goal, there are challenges, because if you could just set a goal and just have it straight away, it wouldn't be a goal, right? A goal takes time, it takes steps, it takes a process to go through. And a lot of that is building the neurology for that. It's the same as building a six-figure business. I had to build the neurology for that. I couldn't just bang, open my doors and there I was. I had to build the neurology for it, right? So this is really important to think about any of the lessons that we had and what, or any of the challenges, and what are the lessons that we got from those. Okay, so really start with celebrating your wins, right? As you do this review, start with celebrating your wins and write down even like your top 5 wins for the year. And this could be beyond wins in your business. This could be your personal growth. This could be your relationships. This could be your health, right? And if I think about wins for my wins this year, we renovated part of our house. Well, majority of our house, to be honest, because we did a whole new kitchen and lounge room, which included knocking down walls, but we put new floors through the whole house and painted the whole house and painted the outside. And, there was a lot that happened, and it went over a couple of months. And in that time, I was running a business from home. That is a huge win. And I'm just so madly in love with our house. It's amazing, right? So it could be something like that you celebrate. And then, after we celebrate our wins and we make sure we know all those wins, identify what are the lessons that you learned, right? So for each challenge that you faced over the last 12 months, what did this teach me, right? How am I better because of it? Now, I know for me, definitely some of the challenges that I had were around putting in really clear boundaries with my family. I had to put in some really clear boundaries with my family. And this was very much aligned with my growth because I was constantly getting dragged into other people's drama, right? So I had to learn that, you know what? I need to put in boundaries. That means that sometimes people won't like those boundaries, or sometimes those boundaries will make people feel like that I'm not supporting them in a way that they want me to. And I had to learn that the fact was, if I didn't put those boundaries in place, I wasn't supporting me the way I needed to be supporting me. And that was really important. If I wanted to grow to the next level of my business and to do the things that are really important, I had to put boundaries in that supported me and my needs. And so that was a huge lesson for me to learn. Right, that was a huge lesson. So you can look at what are the lessons that have been in your year. And really, then the next step is to have a lot of gratitude and appreciation for your progress. Right? Have appreciation and gratitude for your progress. So if you reflect on where you started, whether it was 12 months ago or 5 years ago or 10 years ago, I don't mind where you look, reflect on where you started versus where you are now. Every small step forward is worth celebrating. It's worth celebrating yourself, having gratitude and appreciation for yourself. I walk around my house because I work from home, and so we've had our house renovated. It's beautiful, and like there's this beautiful flow that goes from my dining room. Like I'm sitting in my office now, and I can look through my my office window across the yard into my lounge room, into my kitchen, into my dining room, and actually out the front door. It's quite amazing view. And I have such gratitude for what we've created here, and that I get up in the morning and have these beautiful, spacious mornings, and I get to come out and make myself a nice coffee and a new kitchen. And, I have a nice time having breakfast, and then I get ready and I go for a walk, and I've got a beautiful walk that I go on for about an hour, and I come home and, get ready, have a shower, get ready, and then come straight, just waltzing out here, out my back door, across the yard to my office. I don't have any peak hour traffic. Like, it saves me so much time. I'm in my own little office here. I've got air conditioning. It's beautiful space. I love my garden. I get to walk out and I'm like, oh, our grass is looking beautiful. Our plants are looking great. Our veggie patch is overflowing. Like, there's so much that I am grateful for in the progress of what, I've created in my life. And so that's really important thing to look at. What are the things that you've done for yourself in the last 12 months that you can have a lot of appreciation for? And then when you're in this space of gratitude and appreciation, set your intentions for the new year, right? What do you want to build on from here? What do you want to build on from this year? What areas need more focus or alignment for you, right? What are the things that you need to really look at in that space? Because what you thought you were heading towards earlier in the year might be different now. Right? It might be different now. I know for me that, this year I decided that I'm not going to keep teaching NLP into 2025. So there are some things that I've left behind, which means that now I can focus more on my content creation and my podcasts, and getting more guests on my podcast, and building out my business programs and business alchemy and all of the exciting things that just light me up like nothing else. Right? It's exciting. And I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to be doing those things. And I'm so grateful for everything that's happened along the way to bring me to this space where that's my next step. Right? So really think about that for yourself. What are the intentions that you're setting for yourself into the new year? And, I think the important thing about when we go through a process like this is to really remind ourselves that reflection isn't about perfection. It's about progress, right? Reflection is not about perfection. It's about progress. And you want to make sure that you are continuously celebrating your wins. You are honoring your lessons, because when we talk about the lessons that we have, if we choose to try to ignore those lessons, they come back around. And, you might have had experiences before when you're like, this is not my first rodeo. Well, we don't want to be back in the same ring doing the same stuff next year. So honor your lessons, really reflect on them. And the best way to do this, right, if you really want to honor your lessons, is that you've got to be willing to realize that you are responsible for everything that's happening, right? You are responsible for everything that's happening. And if you want to try to point the fingers of blame about who did what, or how things weren't your fault, or how you're a victim, or how things happened to you in this last 12 months, you're going to probably get some of the similar lessons next year. So it's not about blame. It's not about going, oh, it's all my fault. Oh, I'm so hopeless. Oh, I did all those things. No, that's just more being a victim. It's about taking responsibility. It's about going, okay, what was my role in that situation? What did I need to learn for myself, right? What did I need to learn for myself? What wasn't I communicating clearly enough about my wants or my desires? Right, whatever that might be, you've really got to reflect on those lessons. The lessons and the feedback that you get are absolute gifts. And so, make sure you do that. Reflect, honor your wins, honor your lessons, and then you can really step into the new year with a whole lot of clarity and confidence. So I would definitely take some time. I know that, often people are listening to this podcast when they're out walking or they're driving. And that's beautiful. I love being on the airwaves while you're doing those things, but definitely take some time to spend, 15, 30 minutes to sit through and go through this exercise, right? Just really reflect. What were your wins? What were your challenges? What were your lessons? How have you progressed? What are you leaving behind? And what's the energy that you're moving into in 2025? And I would love for you to share your wins with me. And I'd love for you to share your wins. I love it when I get messages on the socials, and I get text messages and emails and comments on the podcast about, what you got out of this. I love that. So please keep that going. Share your wins with me, because I want to celebrate you as well. And it's a very exciting time of year. Now, check out the next episode. This is kind of like a part one for end of year. The next episode next week, I'm going to be talking about the power of completion and how to tie up loose ends before the new year, which is really important as well. But for today, do your review. Get ready for next week's episode, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Give me a like and a comment and a share. I'd love for more of this stuff to get out further, and your support means so much to me. Have a fabulous day.